You ever get hit with another random transfer fee and think, wait, where did that come from? I've been there. A lot of people think that Payoneer versus Airwallex is just a toss-up, but after using both to actually run an online business, I found one major difference that changed how I managed international payments. And if you stick around, I'll show you the exact feature that saved me thousands in hidden fees. Let's unpack it. So, here's where I always start when comparing tools. The reviews. Not the polished ones on the landing pages. I'm talking real feedback from people actually using these platforms day to day. Let's be honest, if you're trying to move money around the globe, you need something that works without stressing you out. So, naturally, I dug into the one-star reviews first, because that's where the red flags usually show up. One Airwallex user shared that he had a hard time topping up his account with just 50 euros. They asked him for proof of dual citizenship just to verify the transfer, and the way he put it, it was an absolute nightmare. He said he couldn't even pay for basic IT services and called it the worst banking experience of his life. Yeah, that sounds frustrating, but here's what I noticed. That kind of complaint is actually rare for Airwallex, and while I couldn't see their internal support logs, I've worked with their team and their KYC process is usually tight, but not messy. If anything, it seems like this might have been a flagged compliance case, which can happen with any fintech platform dealing with cross-border transactions. And honestly, I'd rather my money be too secure than not secure enough. On the flip side though, Airwallex has pulled in overwhelmingly strong feedback from business owners. There is this Airwallex review from a user who had just switched his entire business banking to Airwallex and said it's already better than any traditional bank they've used. From client payments to organizing expenses, everything was just running smoother for them. Another reviewer called it the best bank in the world, a bit over the top maybe, but he said the features and support were unmatched. Okay, now let's flip the coin and talk Payoneer. I came across a Payoneer review that was kind of brutal. A user said that he couldn't receive a 2FA code for 10 days straight, couldn't log in, couldn't access his money, couldn't pay bills. Support? Non-existent. That's not just annoying, that's potentially damaging for a small business trying to meet payroll or settle an invoice. What makes it worse? This wasn't just one user. I kept seeing the same complaints over and over in Payoneer reviews. Delays, locked accounts, unresponsive support. It's not all bad, of course, but when you're running a business, any kind of consistent friction with your financial platform, that could be a deal breaker. So yeah, while both platforms have their fans, Airwallex seems to deliver a much more consistent, frustration-free experience, especially where it really matters: speed, access, and support. Now, here's where it really gets interesting, because this isn't just about fees or support. The feature differences between the two platforms will directly affect how fast you get paid and how much you keep. You'd think payment platforms are all kind of the same. You send, receive, maybe swap some currencies, but once I started using Airwallex, yeah, it's on another level. For starters, the Airwallex business account doesn't feel like just a payment tool. It feels like a full-blown financial dashboard made for actual businesses. I could see balances across currencies, track invoices, move money between accounts instantly without getting slammed with extra fees. And speaking of moving money, global payments on Airwallex are built to feel local, so you can send and receive payments in your clients' local currencies using their preferred methods. That's huge. I've literally seen conversion rates jump just because customers felt more comfortable paying in their home currency. And Airwallex doesn't tack on those sneaky international fees like Payoneer does, which can quietly chip away at your profit if you're not watching. Now let's talk about their security, and yeah, I know that's not a flashy feature, but it matters. Airwallex is GDPR compliant, and they've got SOC2 and ISO 27001 certifications. Basically, they take your data seriously, and it shows. I've never once felt like my account was exposed or at risk, which honestly is more than I can say for some of the Payoneer experiences that I've read about. Oh, and if you've got multiple accounts or work with a team, Airwallex just launched multi-account management features that let you handle everything from a single dashboard. I can view all of my finances in one place, approve expenses, move funds between accounts, and even manage different users under the same legal entity. It's a godsend for scaling. Then there are the corporate cards. These aren't just your basic debit cards. We're talking sleek multi-currency Visa cards with no transaction fees. I've been using mine everywhere from Bali to Berlin and never once paid a foreign transaction fee. Compare that to Payoneer and it's just not the same. Sure, Payoneer can send and receive money, but fees pile up quick. There are charges for transferring funds, converting currencies, withdrawing to your bank, and none of it feels tailored to modern, fast-moving businesses. Airwallex, by contrast, is built for business growth. It's why I switched. And honestly, it's why I'm staying. And I'm not the only one who's made this decision. One new Airwallex user who runs an Amazon business said switching over to this Payoneer alternative was the best decision of their life. No exaggeration. He talked about how easy it was to set up virtual cards, how responsive the support team was, and how they'd stopped bleeding money on Payoneer's fees. So if you're serious about scaling your freelance or e-commerce business, the difference in tools isn't small. It's make or break. Now, Airwallex isn't flawless, let's be real. One thing I noticed when onboarding new team members is that the platform's flexibility can be a double-edged sword. Because there are so many different features, it can feel a little overwhelming at first. If you're new to business banking or just used to PayPal-style simplicity, it might take a minute to get used to the dashboard. I remember thinking the same thing when I first set it up. Whoa, there's a lot here. But honestly, that feeling didn't last. The Help Center is super detailed, and Airwallex's customer support way more responsive than Payoneer. Once you spend just 30 minutes exploring the platform, it clicks, and when it does, you realize that this isn't just complexity for complexity's sake, it's power. You're just not used to having this much control without needing a finance degree. So yeah, if I had to name a downside, it's that there's a slight learning curve, but once you're over it, you're flying. So what's this all gonna cost? Here's what I found. Airwallex is surprisingly affordable given you're doing international business. You're not getting hit with random transaction fees, the exchange rates are fair, and most of the key features come included. Compared to Payoneer, Airwallex is a breath of fresh air. Check the link in the description of this video to get a peek at their current pricing, including any promos or discounts they're running right now. So if you're still stuck between Payoneer and Airwallex, here's what I'll say. Both platforms work, but Airwallex works smarter. It gave me better control, fewer fees, stronger support, and real features that helped my business scale faster. Check the link in the description of this video to get started with our special discount and coupon.